Kaminskas, who is running for Liberty Lake mayor. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I get to hear everybody's life story, starting with where did you grow up?
So I was born and raised in the suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio. I spent
Okay.
most of my life there before coming to Spokane, to Liberty Lake 15 years ago.
15 years.
Yes.
And so if you went to high school there, did you choose someplace else for any other education or training? Or?
So I got my bachelor's in psychology from Miami University in Ohio, not the one in Florida. And I actually worked on my MBA at the University of Tampa, and I earned my MBA professional certificate from Miami University as well.
Okay, a little bit of traveling around there.
A little bit, yes, yeah. And during my years on council, I also earned my certificate of municipal leadership and my advanced certificate of municipal leadership from the Association of Washington Cities.
On the Liberty Lake City Council.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as you were growing up in Cincinnati or in the suburbs of Cincinnati, was there a first job that made an impression on you?
Oh, gosh. Well, my very first job was working for a neighborhood drugstore owned by someone we knew. And so I guess you could say my very first job was delivering drugs, which doesn't sound quite so good today, but it was fun. It got me out, got me the opportunity to meet a lot of our community members who couldn't necessarily get out by themselves. And I just did a lot of other things around the store, but things have certainly changed in the pharmaceutical industry since then.
That's true, but that got you out in your community.
Yeah, it certainly did. Yes, it
Was
did.
there some volunteer or other activities that you particularly enjoyed?
Back then, I was involved in some opportunities with our local hospitals, working in some of the cafeterias and working with some of the kids in the children's hospital. But today, in my role on city council for the last 11 years and now as mayor for the last 9 months, my volunteer opportunities have kind of come down a little bit because I do spend so much time on council and mayor, but I was on the steering committee for the Spokane Valley Young Life Committee for a couple of years since I've been here. And I've coached, done the little league thing for a couple of years when my son was younger.
Well, what did bring you out to this area?
I was not looking for a job. I was looking for something for my husband, and all of a sudden an ad popped up that was exactly what I did, but with just a little bit more responsibility. And next thing you knew, my husband and I had sold the house and moved across the country from Cincinnati to Spokane. So it wasn't quite planned, but I always say that God has a plan, and so there was a reason that happened. So here we are, pretty much sight unseen. I got off the exit 296 into Liberty Lake when I was interviewing, and I fell in love, and we've been here ever since.
Okay. Well, so you've been in Liberty Lake for quite a while.
Yes.
What prompted you to get involved in government?
Well, when I was a kid, my dad was actually on the planning commission where I grew up, and then he was actually on city council. So I actually got to go see him in action quite a number of times, both on planning commission and in council. And specifically remember a story he told me about a developer trying to bribe him, which of course he turned down, and the gentleman was prosecuted. But it was just a really good start for me to see that as a young kid. It made a big impression.
Right. And so you had that in your past. Was there something in particular in the community that drew you to it?
No, I didn't go into being on council with any sort of agenda or wanting to change anything. It was strictly for involvement. And I had quite a path getting there. I interviewed for an appointed position and didn't get it, which was great because it actually allowed me several more months to start going to the council meetings on a regular basis to get up to speed. I then ran that November and lost by about 100 votes. My competitor and I are still good friends today,
Good.
which is something not a lot of people can say. And then a couple weeks after he was sworn in, then I got appointed when somebody else left. So I've had 3 subsequent elections, made it through all 3. And now I am looking to retain my seat as mayor of Liberty Lake after I was appointed in January. Our previous mayor stepped down.
Okay. Well, we're at a point where I'm going to ask you that last 1-minute
Okay.
question. Remember, I
Yep.
said the question is, why should people vote for Cris? Oh dear, Kaminskas.
Perfect,
Okay,
perfect.
had to
Like I said,
remember.
25 years, I still have a hard time
Cris
getting used to it.
Cris Kaminskas for Liberty Lake mayor.
Well, I live my life by 3 principles, and I won't go into detail on each one. One, like I said earlier, God has a plan. January of 2020, had you asked me if I was ready to take on the role as mayor, I would have said absolutely not. A lot of things going on, and then COVID happened. So there were even more things that went on. But by the time January of 2021 came around, I was ready. Everything in my personal and professional life had gotten into place, and I couldn't have asked for a better time to step in. So it's like he cleared the path for me to jump in and do this. The other thing I really focus on is efficiencies and the best use of resources. I came up through a lean manufacturing environment, so I try to apply that to how I administer as well, making sure the right work gets with the right people, even if we have to spend a little bit more money on salaries, because by not overloading people with the wrong work, you avoid costly mistakes, rework, and which obviously eventually ends up costing the taxpayers money. So that's something I've really focused on in the last 9 months, in addition to the other priorities such as public safety and obviously, financial responsibility. And the big thing is infrastructure. We all tend to have those big three as our top priorities.
Well, that's a good wrap up.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you were able to make it in today.
Same here. Thanks very much for having me.
Good luck, Cris.
Thanks.
What does it mean to be awake? It means to truly understand the issues facing us and actively participate as a citizen in this country. One way you can do that is by voting your values based on the Word of God. We believe We Vote has done the research and provides you the information you need to make an informed decision on which candidates will champion our values and work for us. Now is the time to rise up, get involved, and vote. WeBelieveWeVote.com.
Hello, Spokane. This is Governor Mike Huckabee. I'm going to be speaking at We Believe, We Vote's October 2nd fundraiser. It's more important than ever for Christians to come together and to vote. I'm looking forward to seeing you on October the 2nd of this year. For tickets to the event, go to WeBelieveWeVote.com.